today's video is exactly as the title says. You can make anything you want. Now, obviously, in the year 2025, there are really next to no excuses for being able to make something. Whether you want to make a soccer jersey, you want to make a chair, you want to make a supplement, like whatever the fuck you want to make, like you can make that now. I'll tell you right now, Alibaba is your best friend. There's not a lot of excuses left for you, like especially if you live in the US or a well-developed country. I get it if you are in a not in the best situation, maybe financially or whatever those types of things are exist, and maybe you're coming from a place where access to whatever is not quite there. But for most people, and even for those people, there's still ways to work around that. There are next to no excuses for building whatever it is you want to make. Whatever idea you have in your head and you've even just thought about like making it to some degree, and you just want to at least see it. You don't even have to have something, some grand idea, a brand, whatever that is. You just have an idea of want to make something, you want to try it out. This video's for you. I want to like just help motivate, inspire you, and then educate you that kind of process of bringing something to life from concept to actual real life physical object. So yeah, I'm gonna go over my process for finding manufacturers to make stuff, how I go about making stuff, and then kind of just some of the lessons I've learned along the way. Hopefully, educate you and also just again motivate you guys to actually take action, because that's the first step. Like that's the hardest part of anything, is just starting. So I hope if you had an idea or you want to try something and you start, messing around with something, you start drawing some sketches, you finally learned Adobe Illustrator, you download it for free at your college, university, whatever it is. Please start there, do that, come up with ideas, ideate, ideate, and let's make some cool stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into my MacBook, if I had it the right way. All right, cool. And let's go to Alibaba. Now, I'll probably have to censor out some different things, obviously, with personal information and stuff I'm working on. I don't want to give away exactly everything I'm working on for my personal clothing brand. If you're new here, my name is Daniel. I have a small clothing brand called Apologetic Letters. I make primarily clothes, but I've ventured into other different things. And I just try and help people out who are just now starting to make stuff, design stuff, primarily in clothes, but a lot of other things. So, like I said, just start with Alibaba. So, you come here, Alibaba.com. You can download the mobile app, or you can use the website, whatever you want to use. It's completely free. There's trust there. Like I've never had to worry about getting scammed or things of that nature, as long as you pay within this thing. And so we literally just start here, and you can literally see we have like random. I mean, you can buy like fake Labubus. You can buy bulk ties. Like as you can tell, I've been working on some different things within the fashion space. So I'll just start here. So obviously, me starting with clothes, I did some t-shirts, I did some pants, something as simple as that. If I want to do a custom baggy hoodie, then let's just type in custom baggy hoodie, and you will come up with a million different options for custom baggy hoodie manufacturers. You'll see all these pictures, whether they are actually from that manufacturer having made that item or not. Sometimes they'll just do that. Like this one looks like they did House of Errors. Who knows if they actually did the House of Errors hoodies and sweat sets or not. Sometimes they do that just to lure you in, but regardless, you would want to go onto here, look through all these, look at some of the reviews, chat now, and then I'll literally start a chat, and you can literally send them. That's the beautiful thing, is even if you don't have a tech pack, obviously that's the most desired thing to actually make whatever it is you want to make come to life the easiest. If you have a sketch, just start there, send over a sketch to a manufacturer, say, hey, I'm looking to make this hoodie with this little design. Here's kind of a rough sketch I have. Can you help work with me on that? And that's just the beautiful thing about just the supply chain that exists now, and also just the professionalism and also adaptability, especially with Chinese manufacturers, that they're able to just help you so much and fill in a lot of the gaps that you may not be familiar with. So I would literally just be like, hey, I have this hoodie sketch I want to make. What is your minimum order quantity? So if you were to make a bulk order, what's the minimum that you have to make? So oftentimes 50 or 100 or 1,000, 5,000, like it varies by manufacturer. Um, how much does a sample cost? Um, can you show me pictures of your past work? And these are all just random questions that you would ask along the way, not in this direct, just one message. Again, You might want to button it up a little bit, be a bit more professional, but more or less that's what it is. And send over a picture of your sketch, whatever it is, and go about it, and then give more details. And you can work with them on like how heavy you want it to be. If you don't know, ask them what a standard heavyweight hoodie might be. What kind of, do you want embroidery, screen print, direct to garment, all those things. You'll learn this over time. That's more for into just fashion. But I also kind of want to show you guys like I've been like making stuff that I didn't know how to make. Still within fashion, I'll keep it at that. But I've been working on some other things too that I just like didn't know how to make at all outside of just like your typical hoodies and sweats, and was still able to make stuff using Alibaba. And so that's really the thing I want to showcase today. Like again, if we go back to here, one thing I started looking into recently is making mirrors. I don't know anything about mirrors. Like I just started learning about the difference between I forget the two like main types of mirrors, but we can just go here. And so I had this idea, actually stemming off this chest tie that I made, which was ties, another thing that I've never like produced before. Obviously, it is a type of clothing accessory, but I literally, I'll go back to that actually, custom tie. And so I went through all these ties, and I had this idea to make a tie shaped in the shape of a king chess piece. If you're not familiar, the king chess piece, that's kind of what it looks like, the shape. And so I went through all of these manufacturers and was like, hey, like here's what I'm trying to do. Here's a shape. I think I was inspired. I had found another brand that did like a shaped tie and some type of thing. So I knew it was possible. I just had to find a manufacturer that could actually do like a cutout type like version of a tie and bring it to life. So part of this too is getting your hands dirty and messaging 30 different manufacturers, seeing who can do what kind of quality they can do, what kind of resources do they have, what is their MOQ. Sometimes they seem like a good manufacturer, but that might make you have to buy 200 of them to actually do it. So like, if you're obviously smaller, even like me, I generally don't do more than 50 or 100 at most on most orders that I do. Starting out, you're going to keep it as few as possible. Yeah, like I messaged like 30 different tie manufacturers until I found one that could actually do what I wanted. And then most recently, I learned that they can't even replicate this consistently because of just the unnatural shape of it. So I had to find another manufacturer, which I just found, that seems to be pretty good and is hopefully going to do it and bring me some good news on the samples. So again, it's a long process, but whatever you want to make, guys, so like I was saying, another thing I wanted to do was a custom mirror. And what I wanted to do was, again, that same chess piece. I wanted to make a king chess piece mirror because I thought it looked cool. So I literally went to custom mirror. I went through here and I started looking at mirrors. I looked at different ones, not these like handheld mirrors, but like custom life size mirror. Again, using keywords as your best friend. Looking through all this stuff. Even someone like this, I see, okay, they have this golden arch. They made a mirror like this before, so like at least they made a life size mirror. Not all of these are manufacturers that can do like custom orders. A lot of them are just maybe they're selling this type of mirror, and if you want to do a custom one, it's going to take like a lot of reviews or a custom mold or whatever that might be for a lot of them. But yeah, I would literally just go to chat now and be like, hey, I have this mirror design, and I can literally pull up the one that I had if I go to mirror. And let's see if I have that king chess piece mirror. And look, I have that. And I didn't mean to actually send that, so I can recall that. But yeah, that's like literally what I had, and literally just send over a picture of that. Be like, hey, can you make this mirror in this shape? And start with that, and just work along those regards. So again, guys, really just trying to nail on the point that like you don't have to be an expert at making anything. I'm not educated in doing other stuff like supplements or things like that, and maybe supplements might not be something to do on Alibaba. To be fair, but there's a lot of just different resources out there, guys, to be making like whatever it is you want to make. Like I said before, making a custom chair. Like I'm not someone that's knows how to do anything with crafting stuff like this, but if you have a design, if you're able to sketch it and able to kind of just however you can like transfer that idea to someone else, make them understand it, give them some guardrails, some guidelines, and work with them to kind of visualize it, contextualize it, work with them to 3D model it, whatever that may be. Obviously, ideal world again is for you to become a master in the whatever it is design tools you want to use, whether that be Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, um, using something like Blender for 3D modeling. All kinds of programs out there. A lot of free ones, a lot of ones that might be paid, but if you can figure out a way to get a license from a friend or a family member, or whatever it may be, or pay I think it's like I pay $20 a month for my Adobe subscription, I think. whatever you need to do to get access to some resources, or just get a pen and paper, and write down something and sketch something, and whatever you can visualize, guys, like you can bring it to life. Like we are in a time where there are just so many access to resources with the internet and with the way supply chain works, and especially with China able to make things at a cheaper cost. Like there's really just not a lot of excuses, guys. Even if you don't have like a lot of experience with these different tools and Alibaba and whatnot, like Alibaba is not the only uh, platform you have to use. It's just the one that I'm really familiar with, and I know a lot of other people have gone on to make all kinds of cool shit just randomly off Alibaba. So that's the one I always will talk about. Um, Consumer electronics, like whatever it is that you visualize that you want to bring to life, guys, is what I'm trying to get at. Another idea I had recently was to bring to life these card holders. Go to custom card holder and manufacturer, um, and we have all of these. So I was able to bring to life this really cool card holder that for my brand with this all over embossing. But I even a step further, most recently, had this idea to just start doing some different product design because I wanted to do some stuff that I wanted to see exist in the world. So one thing that I do from time to time is I do these design competitions where I will design for a brand or an artist. I will do my own like interpretation of how I would design for them. And so one thing I designed was this card holder randomly. It was my idea of Louis Vuitton and EXO, the Weekend, the music artist label from his recent album. I put together this mock-up of this card holder with these little patches of these masks, which I won't get into the lore behind that. And I literally sent this to my current manufacturer that makes these card holders. I'm like, hey, can you make something like this with this print, with these masks sewn in as masks? And then lo and behold, like 2 months later, I have this right here, like the same thing from like I literally just had this idea for this card holder concept. I thought it was cool. Obviously, if they wanted to, and if I wanted on to sell this, LV and EXO could cease and desist me if I sold enough of these. But that's really not something I'm worried about, as small as I am. But yeah, literally, like if you can just visualize something, you can bring anything to life. These samples generally run me around like $50 per for these cardboard samples specifically. A hoodie might be 150. This tie I think was like $50 to make a sample. I think in bulk these will be like $6 or $7. In bulk for a lot of these card holders it's like under 10. So yeah, guys, you can like bring stuff to life and start selling stuff and just making cool things. Make cool things for you and your friends to go on to sell for. You can of course do a brand or whatever that is. But yeah, really just want to show you guys that you can make whatever you want. I've gone on again to make ties. I've made card holders. I've made, let's see here, if you want to make a custom hat, you can do that. You can do cool embroidery on the front with these bubbles. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can, again, especially whatever product you want to make, especially if you do go on to make maybe something that's a little bit more common, like a hoodie. What kind of crazy stuff can we do on a hoodie? Ask manufacturers like what all kinds of printing techniques you can do. Get creative with it. For this hat, I did a cool embossing on it. Then I went on to do the custom woven label on the inside. I could have done custom piping here, which I probably should have. Just made a hoodie recently. Really nice embroidery, super high quality. And I will try and link most of my current manufacturers down below. My only request that you tell them that Daniel sent you, because hopefully sometimes they'll give me a bit of a discount on future orders for referring people, especially if you do good business with them. So please do that. I will link them down below. But yeah, if you want to make a custom sweater, again, all these guys just started off me making mock-ups in Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, and then showing the manufacturers that, working with them on like, of course, sizing and things like that. You get more granular. But again, just like starting with this, like, can you make this sweater in a mohair type of knit, and just start with that, and then you kind of build from there. For these pants, I literally mocked up. I found a pair of Levi's on the internet. I did this little gradient in Photoshop with 6 colors, put it against it, and then said, "Can you make a 6 color gradient pair of denim?" It took me 4 tries, but we made it happen. So my point isn't to like showcase my brand or like talk about any of that stuff. Like, of course, I love to talk about that. I'll of course keep doing that. My goal is to just show you guys again, like whatever you can kind of visualize, like you can bring these ideas to life. You can become whatever you want to be. If you want to be some type of artist, if you want to have your own brand, if you just want to make like cool stuff for the sake of it, like I just want to show you that you can make like whatever it is you want come to life. If you want to know how to do stuff in Photoshop and Illustrator, I'd be more than happy to kind of show some of those things. Again, I can go through like a quick example here. This is actually a jersey I made recently. Let's see if I open up that card holder. I don't. Like here's the one I did for my own brand. Again, not to like shout it out. I literally just did like a rectangle like this. Of course, I don't have a layer open. I'm also using my trackpad. Literally just did like a rectangle like this. Curve the corners. And again, guys, stuff does not have to be like super like pretty and polished and you know perfect when you're starting stuff, making stuff. Just come up with a concept and like work backwards. Like don't like worry about it being like everything perfect. Like get a rough mock-up. Like this is how this idea started, was I created this really rough mock-up. The dimensions, it's not like an actual card holder. Like if you compare this, it's not the actual perfect sizing. It's a little sloppy in different areas. This, I didn't even make an actual pattern. I just copied my logo that I made. It's a hand-drawn logo. Threw it into Photoshop. No, threw it into Illustrator, and then just copy and pasted it a ton of times, so you can tell this isn't even like an even pattern. Just to have an idea to visualize this, right? That's the first idea. Is like you have it in your head. How can you visualize it? Can you draw it on paper? Do you have some ability to just be dangerous enough to make this stuff work in Photoshop or Illustrator? So I made something like this, of course. Where was I at? Yeah, so I was like literally doing this. I literally just did that, made it a white stroke. Those are the two card slots. Then I won't do it again, but here was the, if I can grab it, is it not gonna, oh, it's locked. That makes a lot of sense. This was like the logo I used. And of course it's not above that. Dear Lord. Put it over here. It's on there, and I just copy and pasted this a ton of times. Like I said, that's why it's not really like pretty. And then my brand name, literally just text tool, apologetic letters, made it white so I can see it. Picked a font for it. I think it was Baskerville. Baskerville Old Face is one of my favorite fonts, so shout out Baskerville. And bam, that's like the front. Then I just took that, made it that. Nope. Ah. And then I made this little quote right here. This is what we accomplished today. That's a big thing I've done with these card holders. So I could obviously type this out like I actually did. But yeah, made that and then pretty much put it over here. Of course, it's not on the same layer, but you get the point. That was just me quickly showing you how I would make something in Illustrator. Everything starts with a sketch, or I'm not really talented with like drawing and sketching and things of that nature, so I literally do most of my mocking up in Illustrator and Photoshop. And again, just shoot it over to an Alibaba manufacturer, especially after you develop a relationship over time. You can kind of get down to where you know kind of what to expect from each other, and they're able to work with you a little bit easier, and kind of know what you're looking for when making something. And again, I'm going to help you guys out by just linking the manufacturers that I do use down below, the people that I would recommend, even if it's someone in the past that I haven't necessarily done the best work with. I'm not going to put you in that situation and give you those people. So only the manufacturers I've used consistently and really trust over time, I will have them in the bio down below. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like, just want to have a quick rant over like it is 2025. You can make whatever you want, and obviously there are some things that you can't necessarily make as easy as others. But more or less, if you are you have an idea to make something, whatever that is, you can probably make it in Alibaba, or using a manufacturer in China or something like that. They barriers to entry have never been lower, and we have social media too to market these things if you're trying to sell them. So TikTok's your best friend, Alibaba's your best friend. Lock in, be disciplined, get creative, have fun. Think about what you would want to see into the world. Like that's the biggest thing, is like bring the ideas that you want to see in the world to life. I think it's like the best way to start. Make stuff that you and your friends like, just grow from there. And I hope at least just if one person sees this video and has an idea and goes on to hopefully bring something to life from Alibaba, then this video was a success. So thank you again, guys. Like I said, my name's Daniel. I have a small clothing brand called Apologetic Letters, but I just enjoy bringing stuff to life. We're definitely going to expand outside of clothes at some point, and just I have a lot of creative projects on the way. So yeah, having fun with it. I'm having fun with the YouTube channel. That's something new for me. So please drop a like, comment, positive or negative. Give me some feedback, guys. Let me know if you watch this video. Please just say anything. Say what's up. Love talking to everyone. I will always get back to every comment. And subscribe if you're not already. Even if you don't plan to watch my videos again, I would really, really appreciate it. Trying to hit 10K this year. I'm only at like 1,600, so I got quite a bit of ways to go, especially like almost about the halfway through the year mark or getting close to there. So yeah, please do all those things and watch my other videos, more stuff like this. And thank you. Hope to see you next time.